got it. Okay. Bless everyone. Hello, welcome. Hopefully you all can see me okay. My name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa. You can follow me on my page at Readings by Rissa. I tagged it on the comment, the pinned comment below for this live reading. And I do new moon and full moon readings every month. I do the full moon readings live on my page at Readings by Rissa, and I do the new moon readings, such as this one here on Indigo Goddess. So thank you so much for tuning in and joining with me here. And if this is your first time joining, thank you so much for coming into this space and sharing space with us and getting ready for a really awesome reading. And if this is not your first time joining us here for a reading, welcome back and thank you for tuning in again. Also, a nice thing to remember is if you ever miss one of these readings, a new moon or a full moon, I do have my own YouTube channel where I post these readings on there after, within that night usually, or within that 24 hours after the Instagram post expires. So you can find my YouTube page at Rissa Vibes. It's youtube.com/C/Rissa Vibes, or you can just search Rissa Vibes in the YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube after the live Instagram, then thank you so much for subscribing and watching it from here. All right, you all, so I am so excited to connect with you today. This is going to be an amazing reading. If you haven't had a chance to check out my recent videos that I've posted, I did post a video a couple days ago about the 1111 portal that we entered on November 1st. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that video, make sure you go watch that video after this reading so that you can get a little bit more acquainted with that energy that we have stepped into recently. And also, I recently also posted a channeled message that I channeled Master Merlin. He spoke about the inner child and activating the inner child and how important that was in the transformation that we're in right now as well. So definitely check those out on my YouTube channel after this reading if you haven't thus far, but I'll make sure to fill you in throughout this reading as well so that you get all of that information right away. Okay, so I am going to go over a lot of the numerology background of today, as well as the new moon in Scorpio, the characteristics for that new moon. And I will also be talking about all of the zodiac signs and how this energy of this new moon is relating and resonating with them. And we'll be breaking those down by the elemental sign and also pulling some cards for the new moon. So I'm excited to get into it. Thank you so much for joining, and let's go ahead and start. Okay, so I wrote all my notes down for all the messages that I received this month leading up to the new moon, and I've got a lot of cool things. So I want to jump into first what the characteristics of this new moon are for Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a water sign, so we do deal with deep emotions during that time, and we also deal with just depth in general when relating to Scorpio. Scorpio likes to think deeply, to feel deeply, and to really understand things very deeply and from a very strong and clear perspective. So with the Scorpio new moon, we're moving into deep truths specifically for this new moon in November. We're feeling the truths within our soul. We're calibrating and revisiting some of those truths and making sure that we are in alignment with them, really feeling into that intuitive space of knowing what we're representing within our soul and expressing it fully with our embodiment into the physical. We're also having a strong rejuvenation with that depth. So a lot of us are feeling with the new moon a sense of new beginning, a motivation to start something new, a passion and an independence to push forward into new beginnings and new starts and new transformation. And some of us are also feeling with that momentum a little bit of a drained or kind of chaotic energy in a sense of really finding out those truths and testing your truths and beginning to see where there's been a little bit of deception in your truth or where you haven't been activated in your truth fully, and feeling that surfacing so that you can fully move into your truth clearly and start to move forward in that new beginning of embodiment of that truth. So a lot of us are feeling different things, really. It depends on how you're activating right now in this portal. And that leads me to the portal. So 1, November 1st, is when we started this portal. It is a full month portal for the most part, where it goes from the 1st of November to November 22nd, which happens to be Thanksgiving Day, which is really cool. And we have 3 main days in that portal. The first day was November 1st, which was the first day of the portal, the opening of the portal. It was the laying of the foundation of spiritual activation, where we really started to feel into a sense of spiritual insight and understanding of our gifts. We also started to see really strong synchronicities. A lot of you have been messaging me about seeing the same numbers over and over, angel numbers and spirit numbers, and having divine synchronicities of being at the right place at the right time, or meeting the right person that you were just speaking about, needing somebody like that to bring in a certain source of information or resource of some sort. So we're experiencing those synchronicities, and we're starting to really feel into the communication that we have with spirit, and we're really learning how to translate spiritual language, which is really strong. And that was what the first day of the portal was about, is feeling into that strong foundation of spiritual understanding and starting to open up to that. Now, over the last 7 days, we've really started to integrate more of that, which means that we've been more sensitive. We've been a lot more sensitive energetically and emotionally, and we've been feeling that kind of sense of needing to know our truth and needing to feel into our intuitive ability, and really needing to be able to translate that clearly so that we can move forward, knowing how important it is to feel into and understand what it is that the energy is bringing to us right now in this moment. And so a lot of us are being called to meditate or detox or do more yoga or something very spiritual that can get us more into alignment with that spiritual language and understanding that more, getting more intuitive readings or energy work as well to clear and release anything that is keeping that spiritual translation foggy, and allowing ourselves to really open up to a full clarity in that language and translation. So that's what we're moving into. Now, on the 7th day, today is the 7th day of November. It's the new moon day. It's the mark of the new beginnings for us with that spiritual activation, and we're moving into it very fluidly. Now, 7, the number 7, is a spiritual number. It means kind of the manifestation of heaven, and we kind of know that as 7 being a heavenly number. And what that means in response to our portal that we're in right now and the new moon is that today we are opening up to the more heavenly aspect of ourselves and of our light, and also opening up to grounding in the heavenly understanding, this understanding of spirit, the understanding of the heavens, of our connection with the universe and with the source energy that creates all, and feeling that integration into our body, and really allowing ourselves to embody it further through our action, through our emotional response, and also through our physical body. So we are being compelled to do that detox, or to exercise, or do yoga, or clear our minds very well, or do more spiritual active experiences. Now, in the last day of the portal, which will be, well, I shouldn't jump ahead too far. So the next big day of the portal outside of today will be the 11th, which is Sunday, and that's going to be 11/11/2018, which is where we're going to feel another kind of stage of that activation of this portal, where we're going to start to really feel into what our spiritual language is and how we can translate it. A lot of us have different ways of translating spiritual language. Some of us feel it emotionally, some of us feel it based on just knowing what we're picking up and knowing the messages behind the energy that we're feeling. Some of us hear things, hear tones, hear frequencies, hear spirit, and some of us actually see spirit. We see orbs, we see rays of light, we see light beings and past loved ones walking with us and things like that. So as we start to feel into our own way of translating our spiritual language, we're going to be activating that fully and really starting to find out how that can be even more integrated into our being and even more activated starting on Sunday. So that's going to be a really big day as well. Now, the last day of the portal is 11/22, and that is going to be really a kind of full circle completion of the spiritual activation and heightened spiritual awareness in this portal, where we're going to find a complete unity within our spirit and finding that kind of amplification of a full activation of that spiritual awareness. So it's going to translate in a lot of different ways for a lot of us. We're going to feel it from being able to connect fully into maybe past lives, being able to feel completely in control of astral projection, and being able to lucid dream and really feel into controlling the dream realm and understanding that. Depends on how you are and what you're most in sync with and what you're most resonant with and what you want to manifest. So it's time right now, as we're in this new moon energy, to manifest how you would like to translate spirit. Would you like to channel? Would you like to channel through automatic writing? Would you like to be able to pull cards and do readings? Would you like to be a healer and a Reiki master, or someone that is able to do a lot of dream work or astral travel? It really depends on what you're wanting to manifest as well, and how you would like to see your spiritual energy communicate with the spirit world, and how you'd like to translate your spiritual language. So that's where we're at right now. Now we're bringing into Earth more of that activated spiritual connection, and we're feeling with the Scorpio energy that we can accomplish all of it. And even though we might feel some confusion or a little bit of drained energy, especially with the new moon and really activating our spirit, we're also feeling very empowered. We're very strong in our ability to accomplish things, and we're starting to release doubt, self-judgment, and any fear that's been holding us back from actually moving forward into our dreams and fulfilling our dreams and believing that we can have everything that we desire. So it's a really exciting time for us. And I want to take a moment to speak about some of the effects of the moon. I don't like to say symptoms, because symptoms is alluding to just not a good well-being. But I want to say that the effects of the new moon are common to feel drained, especially during a portal new moon or any really moon. It could be a full moon as well if you're in a portal, or you just might be moon sensitive. So be aware of your sensitivity to the moon, and know that a lot of times it will pass just from that energy, just from knowing that it's the moon, just from feeling the moon's shift and how it's relating to the Earth's frequency and our frequency. Sometimes that can translate into being drained or feeling really lethargic or tired, or just extra emotional or confused even. Loss of appetite, especially when we're activating spiritually. Because we're downloading a lot of light upgrades, our subconscious is getting a lot of information. It's gaining a lot of information from spirit, and especially when we sleep is when we download most, because we're less resistant to receiving that information. We're in our sleep, we're completely relaxed, our subconscious is completely active and open, and our waking consciousness is not standing in the way trying to understand everything or challenge everything that we're receiving. We just get all of the information, all of the light grades, all of the activations of this portal. So while we're sleeping, while we're meditating, while we're resting and connecting with nature, we are absorbing those light frequencies. And so we are going to be called to do more of that, more sleeping, more rest, more relaxation, less movement, as we allow that integration to absorb into our being. So make sure you're resting and nurturing yourself during that time, and not beating yourself up for any of those energies or feeling kind of lethargic. And also, if you're feeling down or you're feeling confused, give yourself more time to meditate or get into some solitude where you're able to journal or kind of express some of those confusions and write them down, and start kind of allowing your spirit to communicate to you about how to clear that up, because that is a great practice for you to start learning that language of your spirit by taking time with it and centering yourself on anything that's confusing and really getting to the bottom of it through connection with your own higher self. Okay, so a couple of other things before I move on into the zodiac sign breakdown. Service to others, unconditional love, motivation to fulfill your dreams, forgiveness, and compassion are all of the main themes of this new moon. So saying it again, servicing to others, so really giving back and healing work or advice or counseling or consulting, or just any way that you have your gifts, whatever gifts you have, you're giving back, you're feeling that need to serve and to be available to others in that way. Unconditional love, learning how to love despite any judgments or past issues or disconnections in energy, learning how to let those things go and just move into complete unconditional love, recognizing the mirror within others that are in your experience, noticing that if you're having an experience with someone that doesn't feel good, or they're doing something that's triggering something in you to respond negatively, that's a mirror for you and a lesson for you to understand what parts of yourself are triggering that experience as well, and what parts of yourself are also related to that energy and kind of bouncing back at you and making you see where you're resonant with that, or where you're mirroring that behavior, and to clear it. Also, motivation to fulfill your dreams. So like I said earlier, really feeling amplified and activated in wanting to get through to the dreams and goals that you've always known you've had, and really wanting to make sure that you fulfill them. Feeling that kind of fire within you to accomplish those things, and knowing that you're able to, and feeling that belief deep down in your core, that spiritual energy telling you it's absolutely possible, so let's do it. And then forgiveness and compassion go hand in hand. We're forgiving ourselves for anything of the past and letting it go. We're also forgiving others for anything of the past and letting it go. Knowing that as we hold on to things that no longer serve us, or that we no longer need, we're holding ourselves back from our pure amplification and motivation into the new beginnings and into the accomplishment of our goals. So we let those things go through forgiveness and compassion. All right, another quick note as well, staying in the present moment is huge right now. We want to let go of anything in the past, not let our thoughts or emotions wander into the past, and also not let our thoughts and emotions wander into the future and trying to specify or expect exactly what we want to have happen soon. We want to just allow ourselves to know that we are, and we carry the energy of creation to manifest all that we desire, and we're doing it in this present moment, every moment. Right now we're doing it by communicating this way, by activating all of these energies through speech and through interaction and through the collective community of us in this energetic experience, and amplifying it with all of our intention. And so as we continue to do that, as we continue to allow our energy to take the lead by staying in the present moment and trusting that our spirit, our being, our energetic force is in alignment with what we desire, and simply moving with it is what's going to continue that flow and keep us from being held back by past thoughts or emotions or traumas, or limiting ourselves in ways by trying to control our future too much and not focusing on what the universe has in store and following that path and that timeline. Going deep may be intense right now. Like I said, we're going really deep with the Scorpio new moon. We're revealing new truths. We're diving deep into our spirit's truth. And sometimes that means resurfacing things that we necessarily might not want to look at or deal with, but we have to in order for us to find the wisdom and see the truth in it, so that we can move in that truth and embody. So that can be intense. Remind yourselves that you're supported and protected. Call on Archangel Michael. He's been very, very available and around for a lot of people right now. So call on Archangel Michael for protection. Also call on Saint Germain. Ask for that violet flame, if you're familiar with it, of Saint Germain. Saint Germain brings a violet flame which transmutes and releases any negative energy, and transmutes it like an alchemist into positive energy, into wisdom, into clarity, into activation, into abundance of knowledge and truth. And so when you call on Saint Germain and you call on Archangel Michael, those are a really great combo of energies to help you through that time if you're feeling the intensity of the new moon. And then empowerment does come from facing uncomfortable positive change. So we're moving into that empowerment by facing any of those uncomfortabilities, by recognizing that if we are moving into a new beginning, it may be uncomfortable because we're used to something that isn't new. It's something that we might not necessarily like, but we're moving on, we're moving into something different, and that may be uncomfortable, and we need to allow ourselves to activate and to adapt to that uncomfortability so that we can really allow ourselves to have that new beginning. All right. Harmony and balance is also really strong here. So we're harmonizing and balancing with the Scorpio new moon, and we're fulfilling our purpose to see and tell the truth as well. And we're feeling any roots that fuel us, or any triggers that fuel those perspectives. So it's important for us to really allow ourselves to notice any triggers that fuel the perspectives that we need to change, and allowing ourselves to let them go fully. And moving on into now the zodiac breakdown, everyone. Okay, so this is going to be really fun. My guides gave me the main message for the zodiac breakdown is that we are being initiated. So initiation is the key word here. And initiation means that we are moving into a activation of spiritual awareness, just like we talked about that portal. But we're being initiated because we've already done so much of the work. We've already opened up to our understanding of spirit, our translation of spiritual energy and translation of spiritual language. And we've really done the work in letting go anything that hasn't been serving us, in facing our fears over the last few months, in allowing our shadow side to surface and finding ways to accept it and love it and let go anything that was holding us back, and allowing ourselves to activate our light through understanding our shadow. And we've really done all of that work so intensely, and Spirit is rewarding us in this month with this portal and activating us in the wisdoms and in the gifts that we have asked for. And so we're here now and we're being initiated. So this portal is all about initiation in the spirit. And if you want more information about the portal, I did summarize it pretty clearly in this beginning of this video, but I want you to also check out that portal video on my YouTube channel because it does talk more about it. And I'll be releasing more of that as well. Now, the activation for the inner child is also really important, so make sure you watch the Master Merlin channel on my YouTube as well, because he came through very strongly in activating the inner child by letting go of anything that keeps the inner child within us sad or feeling defeated or suppressed, releasing that and reminding ourselves that the inner child is powerful, that it is full of life, that it is full of resilience, and that if we hold on to the resistance that is in our inner child, then we are not going to be able to move forward as well as we could if we would just activate the resilience within us and release any resistance. So watch that video as well. Okay, so for the zodiac breakdown, I'm so excited for this. I'm going to go over exactly what I channeled writing. I did some automatic writing for the initiations for each zodiac, so I'm going to read those and then I'll also kind of explain them from an intuitive perspective. So for the earth signs have initiation. The earth signs have initiation into elemental structures and integrative solutions. Let me turn off my air, you guys. Hold on. Sorry about that. I just didn't want you to not be able to hear me. Okay, so Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns, my earth signs. Initiation into elemental structures and integrative solutions. So what that means is that we're calling on the earth, we're calling on that earth element and also all of the elements to supply a sturdy structure and a sturdy foundation for integrative solutions. Not just integrating solutions into our personal being, but also integrating solutions for the mass collective. Seeing what we need energetically for the mass collective and beginning to feel motivated and inspired to build solutions and find resolutions for certain problems in the mass collective and wanting to help and give service in that way. So that's the initiation for the earth signs for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Elemental structures and integrative solutions. So from my intuitive perspective, I encourage you, earth signs, to really start to connect with your earth, connect with all of the elements as well, focus in on what the elements mean to you, allow yourself to begin researching some of the elements and understanding some of those so that you can be activated by your own interpretation and resonance with that and kind of get the synchronistic signs from your higher self and what to explore there. It also has to do with those structures, finding foundations, using whatever it is that you're motivated by or whatever goals you have, and finding a way to use elemental structures and build elemental structures to support it. So using your emotional energy like the water, using the mental energy of the air and of the air and the spirit, using the fiery energy and the passion of the fire signs, and really feeling into that element and the elemental structures to create solutions for yourself. Okay, for water signs, my Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces. All right, this is all about integration into emotional alchemy, balance, and divine healing. So for all of you healers out there, for all of you who are emotionally driven and feeling into that energy, that is the way that you communicate with spirit, through emotional alchemy and divine healing and balance. So emotional alchemy is being able to transmute a negative emotion into a positive emotion. So turning fear into love, turning despair into comfort or empowerment, and really allowing ourselves to find ways to do that. So all of you water signs are really being initiated in that way. Because you are water signs and because you have a natural emotional basis, you're using those emotions, and you're using your understanding of emotions in order to activate a master level of alchemy, of alchemical reaction, and teaching others how to do that, teaching others how to not just see the negative sides of their emotion, but to learn how they can create other emotion from that awareness, and how to heal from that awareness as well. And learning balance in that way is really huge. So that's the initiation from spirit for this portal and for this new moon for the water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. For Aries, for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, the initiation is initiation into fearless expression and leadership. So you fire signs are learning how to feel into your leadership, into your fearless expression, into complete truth and understanding of that expression, and into that being your purpose and your motivation for your goals. So allowing yourself to feel into that bravery, into that courage, into that understanding that your own perspectives are so unique and necessary and needed, and they are important to be heard and important to be expressed. So feeling into that and being initiated in your leadership in that way, learning that the way that you think and the way that you perceive things is so unique, and it is necessary to feel into your leadership because you have unique ideas and perspectives. Fire signs, you're moving into your leadership, that individual just kind of stepping forward with that new perspective, teaching other people how to your ways of thinking, and showing people what that means. Really, really important. All right, and for my air signs, the initiations that you have, Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses, are the initiation into creativity and abundance. So we're moving into our master creator self. We're uniting with our creator within. We're feeling into our intense creative ability. We're also allowing that creative ability to fully be received. And we're also finding the abundance that comes with that, learning how to create abundance from our creative expression, learning what our creativity can bring, and also feeling into the information that we're getting in response to being creative, finding a way to translate our creative abilities into more information for ourselves and for our own healing. So my air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, initiation into creativity and abundance is what we're getting from this portal. And if you have any questions, please ask below. I do want to also end with pulling cards and giving you guys a little bit more of that, so that we can get a full circle understanding. A couple other notes on my in my notebook for this new moon is that we really need to rest, relax, and exercise the inner child. The inner child is a gateway for our portal, for our activation and our spiritual awareness. And so when we really activate the inner child by doing things that are fun to us, that are expressive of that wonder and adventurousness and excitement that is the inner child, the desire to learn more and to experience more and to be fascinated by things, we're activating that gateway, and we're opening up more to that spiritual activation when we do that. So it is about releasing any sadness or anger, any resistance, and opening up that inner child and letting it express itself. So we really want to do that. Another summary is to make sure we're not having any fears of failure, releasing any fears of failure now. It's over. We have no reason to fear failure. We create what we think. Thoughts become things. So as long as we don't think about about failure or think that we're going to create it, then we won't. So release any fears of failure. The more you can release that, the more we can open up to the success that you deserve and the abundance of success that is coming your way. No judgments of self or others. Remember, moving into that unconditional love of self and others through forgiveness, through non-judgment, through acceptance, through compassion, and through understanding. We are all one, and we are in this together. We are mirrors for each other. So if we're pushing negative energy and judgment onto others, then we have to expect that that negative energy and judgment is going to come back onto us from something else or in another situation, or sometimes right away in that same situation, depending on how fast those things manifest. So we have to release the judgment. We also have to release doubts of ourselves, reminding ourselves that we're empowered now. We're in complete unity with our spiritual activation and awareness and with our higher self. So there's no need to doubt our strength and our power and our spiritual connection. It's here. It's proven itself. It's proving itself every day in the present through these communications, through the synchronicities we receive, and through all of the things that we interact with throughout the day that allow us to feel that energy. All right. I am loving all of your interactions, you all. I am going to go ahead and move into cards. I don't see any questions, so. All right. So I'm going to pull some cards on just what we're moving into with this new moon. So I'm going to ask Spirit, please give us information on our main focus for the next few days and possibly weeks into this new moon energy. I say a few days because I'm probably gonna pull some cards on the 11th for that portal activation day. But for now, what are we focusing on, Spirit? What is our main focus for this new moon? These cards are getting sticky. I'm getting one at the bottom. I just don't know which one's gonna be. Oh, okay. So we have 3. They gave us 3 at a time, which is always nice. Big cluster at the bottom here. Okay. First one is study. Allowing ourselves to be activated by our intellect, allowing ourselves to see where we are curious, notice the areas in which we're curious to research, and allowing ourselves to research that. Finding study in ourselves and our own awareness, studying our truths. Remember, we're diving deep into our soul's truths during this new moon. So studying ourselves by studying the triggers that we have in certain interactions, studying our understandings of ourselves and where we're seeing confusion or needing clarity, and studying outside of ourselves certain information that can help us learn more about ourselves within. So allow yourselves to gravitate to different things that are interesting to you and really dive deep into the research of it, and I guarantee that you'll find some activations spiritually and some messages and synchronicities from your higher self to help you in that study and in this energy right now. All right, next one is meditation. This is a great one for this portal because as we meditate and also as we sleep, we're absorbing more of those light frequency upgrades. We're absorbing more communication from our spirit. We're absorbing more information and messages from our higher self and from our own activation of spiritual awareness. So with meditation, we are doing also that study. We're studying within. We're moving our frequency into our consciousness, deeper into our consciousness, and studying ourselves and our spiritual connection. We're also studying our spiritual language and how we translate spiritual energy in meditation while we do this. So meditating can be a great way to study as well, and as meditating itself is very important for this portal so that we can really receive all the activations that are coming our way. I would like to say as well, for meditation, a lot of us have a hard time meditating. I do have a YouTube video up on my channel called How to Meditate Your Own Way. It's all about customizing your meditative practice to you and finding nice tricks and tips on how to meditate more easily if you're having a hard time meditating. And remind yourself too that you can do moving meditation. Yoga is a moving meditation. Also cleaning the house or taking a long walk where you're really in your zone and you're kind of daydreaming, or if you're washing dishes and you tend to daydream and you really feel activated there, that can be meditation for you. So allow yourself to find meditation in your own way, in the way that it feels good to you, so that you can really give yourself that time and not beat yourself up if you don't meditate like everybody else. That's okay. So watch my YouTube video on meditation and I think that'll help as well. Okay. Next card is new love. Okay, so for some of you, and you will probably feel very resonant with this, you'll feel maybe some chills up your spine, or you'll feel like a strong gut feeling that some of you are going to experience an activation of new love here. You're going to bring some new love into your existence and into your experience, and that's really exciting. So allow that to happen. I will say that with new love, it also signifies new love of self, new love of your new beginnings, new love of spirit, new love of your life, your experience in this physical. As we activate spiritually, we begin to find new ways to love ourselves and new reasons to love the world and our connection in it and our purpose in it. So with the awareness through studying and meditation and the activation from this 1111 portal and the new moon bringing us new beginnings and new soul truths and new clarity from that, we are finding new ways to love and new things to love. And also some of you will be activating new love in relationships. So allow yourself to be open to that and know that even if this new love brings something that is maybe not permanent or something that is not going to be forever, whatever it is, know that the new loves that you get, if it's a relationship, are going to be teaching you something. So the value behind that new love is always going to be permanent. The value and the understanding, once you gain it, is always going to be beneficial to you because it's always going to bring new awareness, new wisdom, and new activation of something. So enjoy that new love and welcome it in by trusting the universe and allowing yourself to communicate clearly to the universe on what you might want that new love to look like. And also allow yourself, like I said, to be general with this and finding new ways to love yourself and new ways to love your connections and interactions with spirit and your physical existence here in this world, because we are loving that. We are feeling the connection and the oneness with ourselves. We are feeling into that ability to understand spirit and understand things that we never could have fathomed and new truths that we never had. So allow yourself to love deeply those awarenesses and that connection. I'm so excited to have connected with you here for this new moon reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to give you these messages and bring you this awareness. I thank you so much for your love and support and for sharing these readings and for sharing my YouTube channel and anything that you're inspired to that comes from me and from others in this community. We are all in it together. We are all healers. We are all intuitive, and we are all here to fulfill a purpose that is individual and unique to us in this world. So thank you for allowing me to fulfill mine with you here, and I love you so much. I will see you next time for the full moon reading over on my page at Readings by Rissa. I also do daily IGTV videos on my Instagram page at Readings by Rissa. So make sure you follow me at that page for daily motivational, inspirational videos. So I do Manifestation Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Woke Wednesday. I talk about being thankful on Thursday and a lot of other things, and I'm always posting. So make sure to follow me over there at Readings by Rissa. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Get lots of rest, drink lots of water, and allow yourself to intuitively guide you throughout this new moon energy. I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.